YouTube, it's Jen, no Brad tonight. So I figured I'd give you my update since my surgery is coming up next week, next Tuesday. So, last time I talked to you all, I told you that I had an upper GI done, and the radiologist said that I had a hiatal hernia, no reflux, and my surgeon said I had no hiatal hernia, reflux. That made me really concerned. Also, the radiologist said that I might have gastroparesis, which is really slow emptying of the stomach, because even though I had fasted for over 15 hours prior to the upper GI, I still had food in my stomach. And when I drank the barium for the upper GI, it wasn't passing through the stomach. So I was super worried because that wasn't what I was expecting. So I went and saw my surgeon, and we talked about it, and she said that if I do have gastroparesis, which is the slow emptying of the stomach, that would work to my advantage with the sleeve, so that would make me full longer. But if I had it, it would make me full longer now, and I'm certainly not full longer. And, you know, she said she looked at the films, and she didn't see a hiatal hernia, and that she saw a little bit of reflux, but she said that she thought the sleeve was still a good idea. So I'm going forward with the sleeve, obviously. I did have my brother-in-law, who is a GI doctor, take a look at the films and the GI report, and he actually agreed with the radiologist that read it here and said there was a small hiatal hernia, and he didn't see reflux. But, you know, I talked to Brad about it, and Brad's like, hey, your surgeon is a surgeon. She's not a radiologist, so as long as she can do the surgery well, you know, don't worry about it. When she gets in there, she would see for certain that I did or did not have a hiatal hernia. So, last Tuesday, I started the pre-op diet. I guess I didn't really start with the stats. Sorry, I'll back up. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall. I got the lap band in December of 2012, and starting weight was 262 pounds. The lowest weight I ever saw was 169 point something when my band slipped. I had to have it revised in 2014. They had to reposition the band. And then after that, I basically lived in the 170s, 170s until about 2016. And then I slowly started to gain weight. By the time I went to get my band removed, I gained back up to 205.6, and that was where I said, oh no, we need to fix something here. So I got the band removed at 205.6, and I started my pre-op diet last Tuesday at 211.6. That meant that in the 3 months that I had the band removed, I only gained 6 pounds. Thank you, Lord, because, you know, it's bad enough that I'm having to have surgery to lose the weight I put on to get up to 205, but I don't want to gain even more weight to have to lose, because everything I lose to get down to 170s is weight I'd already lost. So I'm just redoing what I had already had. So I started the pre-op diet on Tuesday of last week, and my surgeon tells you to have a protein shake for breakfast, a protein shake for lunch, and then like 4 ounces of lean protein and a leafy green. I asked her if there was any kind of supplement to it for me, because I work out extensively. I teach kickboxing and I do heavy weightlifting, and she said no. So that became a problem though on Monday when I went to teach my class this week, having had, you know, basically, you know, no carbs, and I went to teach my class, and I wasn't supposed to. I realized that that this was going to be hard to keep teaching the class. I could take the class because it requires less energy than teaching it, but the person I had subbing it for this Monday had to cancel, and so I had to teach it last minute, and so I went to start teaching, and I got super dizzy. Luckily, an instructor came in during my class, she took over, and I went home. And because I had done part of the class and I was sweaty, I went to take a shower. And when I went to take a shower, I almost passed out, and it got to the point where, like, I turned gray, and Brad was like, should I call 911? Because I had years ago, before I had the lap band, I did pass out one time from, you know, my blood pressure dropped and I passed out. So Brad was worried that I was going to faint. And he's like, you need to eat some crackers. And I'm like, no, I'm on the pre-op diet. I can't have carbs. Which was stupid. And so he eventually convinced me to eat a cracker. I laid down, or Belvita, you know, the little Belvita cookie crackers. I had that, and it was like, thank God I ate that, because I was dying, and then I was totally better. So, for me personally, I cannot be doing heavy cardio while on this super low carb pre-op diet. That will not work. The pre-op diet started, I was 211.6, and Tuesday I weighed in at 209.2, which is a 2.4 pound loss. It's not a big loss, I know, but it is what it is. So, that leaves me with getting surgery on Tuesday next week. I can't wait, December 18th. The one thing that I really regret from the lap band is I didn't take enough pre-op pictures. So I'm going to take a bunch of pre-op pictures, so that way when I stall, or, you know, I stop losing weight and I'm like, oh, I look the same as I used to, I can have actual photo evidence that I was significantly larger. So I'm going to take a bunch of pictures before the surgery so that I have that proof, because a lot of times, you know, when I was in the 170s, I'm like, I just felt miserable. I didn't think like I accomplished anything because I didn't take a lot of pictures when I was heavier. So I will be rectifying that. The other thing I did was 2016 I started weightlifting heavy weights, and I started doing body fat testing. And in the beginning, after I had lifted heavy weights for 8 months, I went and did body fat testing, and at that time I did it with the underwater hydro testing. And that's a pain in the ass, because you have to like go underwater, you have to blow all the air out of your lungs, and I wasn't good at that. So he kept making me do it over and over again to get it more accurate, so I was questioning the accuracy. But I did it for the first time in February of 2016, and then I did it again in October of 2016 after I had been lifting heavy weights, and I, you know, got to see that I had put on at that time, sorry, I'm looking at my notes, 8 pounds of muscle and lost 5 pounds of fat. So in between February and October of 2016, I had gained 3 pounds, but it was really muscle. And so I realized that that was a helpful tool. So now that I've gained much more weight, I did a body fat testing with a DEXA scan, which is what you women sometimes do to check their bone density. So this checks your bone density and measures your weight of your bones, the weight of your muscle, and the weight of your fat, but it also tells you by quadrant, arms, legs, stomach. It tells you where all the fat is located. So I went and did that last Thursday so that I'd have a baseline to start from. And so, you know, next year at some point, whenever I stop losing, I'm going to go check again and see how much fat did I lose. I've still been doing the heavy lifting. In between the band removal and now, we've been doing a little bit less heavy. I'm still weightlifting. I'm still, you know, doing over 100 pounds on you know, the chest presses and deadlifts and squats, but I'm not going super, super heavy. Because you know, that healing, the time from that was a little difficult. So we are going to start back again once I'm cleared to lift weights following the sleeve surgery. And so I want to get back into putting more muscle on my body, because what I saw from, so with the weightlifting, I had put on, because I did another check in 2017, so I had put on 9 pounds of muscle with weightlifting. However, since then, since April of 2017, I have lost 10 pounds of muscle, probably mostly in the last 3 months from not being able to do heavy weightlifting. And I've also gained a ton of fat. So I have my, the DEXA scan said that I have 107 pounds of lean muscle and almost 99 pounds of fat. And I am in the super, oh dear God, how are you still alive fat range. So obviously I'll be working on that starting, you know, now, but really next week for big time. But hey, the one bright side was For my bone density, I'm in the ideal range. So while I may be super fat, I do have ideal bone density. So that at least was one positive. So that is where I'm at now. I get surgery Tuesday morning. My surgeon has you spend the night at the hospital, which I'm happy with, because when I had the band removed and I got to spend 2 nights in the hospital because of complications, I'm so glad, because you get the super, super good drugs in the hospital. I don't want to feel pain. So I'll have surgery Tuesday. I'll come home Wednesday if everything goes well. And then my doctor does clear liquids for till I'm discharged from the hospital, then full liquids for the first 3 weeks, and then soft pureed for the second 3 weeks. And then after 6 weeks, you are cleared to eat normal foods. So I'm very excited. I'm a bit anxious because, you know, with the band, yes, you were restricted in what kind of food you could eat. Like carbs were not really going to work, but it never, at least for me, was never you ate 4 or 6 bites and you were full and you couldn't eat anymore. I mean, I taught myself to eat a cup of food and to be satisfied, but there was always ways to eat more than a cup of food. I just needed to listen to my body and not eat more. But with the sleeve, where I'm literally losing 80% of my stomach, it's going to be very weird to eat a few bites of food and then just have to mentally accept that I'm done, because I'm sure my plate will look like I haven't touched it, but I have to have, you know, the mental strength to say, Jen, listen to your body. You are satisfied and you need to stop. So that challenge is a little scary for me because the lap band was completely different. But I'm looking forward to it. I need this tool. I need some help. I need to make changes because I'm not happy with myself. And even though, you know, at 209, I'm still, what is that, 53 pounds down from, I still kept 53 pounds of the lap band weight off. It's not good enough. I don't want to be 209. I want to be back to the 170s or lower if possible, but I am older. My body's not going to be like a 20-year-old. I'm not going to necessarily be able to get down much lower, but I would at least like to be back down to the 170s. So that is where I'm at. I will film again after surgery. Not sure when, but at some point after. And that is it. I'm basically vlogging this journey because when I had questions about band to sleeve conversions, there was not a lot of information out there. Thank God there's Ashley Grills, and I've called her, and if you're watching this, hello, your baby is adorable. But there's not a lot of people that posted videos on band to sleeve conversions, or if they are, I haven't seen them and I need to find them. And also Jessica Cakes is doing it, but was pregnant when she got the sleeve, so it's not the same comparison. So I'm doing this so that when people, and you know, lots of people are converting from their band to another surgery, so I'm putting this out there so there'll be information about my journey from band to sleeve. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But that is it. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all are big losers, kick some fat's asses, and I love your faces. And hopefully I'll see you on the other side. Talk to you later. Bye, YouTube.